What is actually B2B in your terms?
बिजनेस में बहुत सारी चीजें होती है, मार्केट भी करना पड़ता है, ऑपरेशंस भी संभालना पड़ता है, सेल भी करना पड़ता है और फिर मैनेज भी करना पड़ता है. One, a business owner is never happy. Second, he never has enough leads. Third, he never has enough time. Biggest problem in a business owner is his mindset. You need to play multiple identities in the business, but it depends on what is the mission that you have. Most business owners have created their business around them. Most Indian business owners don't pay attention to their model. Time and cost investment today will give them better quantity and quality of results tomorrow. Most business owners are not stuck in marketing and sales. They're not struggling for revenue. They're struggling to free their time.
Anybody who is thinking to start off with their journey as a business owner.
Most important is having that clarity of why you're doing it.
How much do you see funding as a helpful tool?
Entrepreneurs fail. I absolutely accept that as a fact.
Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to the Skillset School. As I always say, this is that one school you never knew you needed. The guest that I have today is extremely special. Now, extremely special in terms of, I should say he's one of the most popular, or I should say one who has earned a lot of audience as a business coach. He's none other than Abhay Tiwari. So first of all, Abhay, I would like to welcome you to Skillset School.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Same here. We are so glad to have you with us. Now, a little about him would be that, he's somebody who not only just teaches you when it comes to business part of it, he's somebody who can actually help you how to handle your sales team, operations, management, everybody out there. And, whatever I have stalked him on a little on Instagram, I should say, or whatever I have researched about him, technical formal term, I should say he's someone who not actually just works on the surface. He's somebody who works on the deeper level of understanding why is a particular business model not working. So specifically, if I talk about his niche audience, he works with B2B. So I would like to start with this question that what is actually B2B in your terms? But before I do that, we would like to have a little intro of yours, knowing, from where the journey started and where are we today?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here, Charu. It's always pleasure to see you doing podcasts. And I think it's going to be a great conversation today. A bit about me. I come from a small village in Madhya Pradesh called as Puras. It's in Rewa district, but I was only born there. I was brought up in Hyderabad.
Okay.
So there's a place in Hyderabad called as Begum Bazaar, which is like the biggest hub of Hyderabad. तो कुछ नहीं मिलेगा कहीं पे भी, तो बेगम बाजार में मिलेगा. And since childhood, all I did was made friends who are business owners. Father had their customers, their knowns. Everybody was business owner. और मेरे साथ पुश्तों ने business नहीं किया था.
Okay.
So the only thought that I had since childhood was to have a business of your own.
Okay.
And during my school, I used to be in fairs, selling something, setting up something, trying to make money just to get a feel of being a business owner. And during the same time I was growing up, I was like, okay, let me study business. So I did my business BCom from a college called as Indian Institute of Management and Commerce in Hyderabad. Was very, very focused on business. Even had 2 startups. So do you remember around 2017, 18, there was a sign called as DAB.
Yeah.
So we had a DAB Shakes.
Okay.
Okay, that was a Shakes brand, and DAB didn't mean anything. It was Deepan, Abhay, Bhargav, 3 friends who started a Shakes brand, but it couldn't run. It was just the start, and we realized multiple problems. कि यार business में बहुत सारी चीजें होती है, market भी करना पड़ता है, operations भी संभालना पड़ता है, sell भी करना पड़ता है, और फिर manage भी करना पड़ता है. We realized that, and we were able to make some profit, but realized that we can't run it for long. That's when I realized, okay, what can I do? So we had another small business where one of my friends was very interested in coins. So he was very interested, I was not. So he would do it continuously and I would just tag along with him. That also didn't run for long. That's when I realized that, okay, I don't know how to do it. Can I help people do it? That's when I joined a digital marketing agency, which was into marketing, and we would create website for a panwala, and we would want to get them orders in 2017-18.
Okay.
So we were trying to crack that because website was a big thing in 2017-18. So we would do that, randomly dial karta tha call, and I was in college at that time. I would explore a lot of things then.
Yeah.
But realize that none of it is working. And during the same time, I started seeing, क्योंकि तब तक समझ आने लगी थी, I started seeing friends being stuck in their store. They would not being able to spend time with their family. The only thing that they would do is just take care of the store, go sleep, and then come back to the store next day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and have no life.
Yeah.
And that hit harder. By the way, on the parallel side, was helping business owners. Learned that my own, the company that I was working with, we were also struggling. While we were generating leads for others, we were struggling to generate leads for our own selves. अब ये कौन सा पुण्य पाप है समझ नहीं आता that you are able to market the world, but you're not able to market yourself. And I am sure most digital marketing agencies can relate to that. कि दूसरों की marketing तो करा देंगे लेकिन खुद की नहीं करा पा रहे. That's when I realized that most businesses fail to think for their own selves.
Yeah.
And I also realized three problems. One, a business owner is never happy. Second, he never has enough leads. Third, he never has enough time.
Yeah.
And I was like, how? How in the world that you do not have time if you have teams, if you have been running the business for a long time? Until something came in 2020. When I was done with my college, I was thinking, okay, what to do? And we started to start a business because जैसे मैंने बोला था, always wanted to start a business. So my father is a pandit, like I told. So we started a store called as Pandit Ji Puja Store.
Okay.
Which was a family store running in Hyderabad. It's still run by my family. Now, what was the intention? To see, can I really start something and run it
Okay.
for a sustainable amount of time? I did that, but realized it won't be able to feed the family. Because एक store में अपने अलग challenges होते हैं. Ran it for 6 months, gave it to my brother. My brother is running it successfully now. Then I moved to Bangalore, started consulting a real estate company.
Okay.
Saw the same pattern again. Business owner never had time. He was never happy.
Leads,
And he never had enough leads. I was like, how? So I was consulting him, helping him set up his marketing, sales, operations digitally. वो paper से sign कर रहे थे documents. For a house that was 1 crore, they would give them paper signed documents. I was like, no, that's not how a good company should run. Did that for 6 months and then realized that after all of this, they still called me after 6 months telling, Abhay, you know what, whatever you did was good, but it still doesn't run well. And I was like, मैंने तो सब कुछ change भी कर दिया. पहले तो सोचता था मैं कि यार lead generate नहीं हो रहे, तो मैंने वो system भी बना दिया. Then I realized the biggest problem in a business owner is his mindset. Because the business owner said that he's not willing to give the permission to his team member to run that system. And he only wanted to run it. It was like a tight slap on my own face.
Yeah.
I was like, fair enough. I had to learn something. I worked on everything else, but I did not work on the
Mindset
base layer.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Then I started working at a business coaching company. Did that for 3 years, worked with them, worked with 100 plus clients, generated over 300 plus crores in revenue for them. So yeah, this is a bit of understanding. And then I realized, if I had to look back, what are the best kind of businesses that I work with?
Okay. Yeah.
And I realized that it's B2B business owners who are in services that I have been able to help, that have been able to grow, and that have been able to scale their business while working with me. So I took that insight and I started working with them. So yeah, this is a bit of introduction. I hope I have not taken longer. But yeah, now to answer your question, what is a B2B?
Yeah.
Any organization that helps other organization complete a task is a B2B.
Yeah.
Now in India, if you really look at it, there are a huge number of businesses that are in services. But there are B2C services and B2B services. B2C is urban club, urban company. You book something, they come to your home and they do it.
Yeah.
And there is B2B. There are organizations that do it for organizations. Think of agencies. What do agencies do?
Yeah.
Think of IT services. What do IT services do? They be one organization, they help the other organization execute something, help with something, complete something.
Yeah.
That's what B2B is. So I realized that B2B service businesses have a lot of potential in India because we are also one of the most populated economy. On the other side, we are also a growing knowledge economy.
Yeah.
Right? Which means what? People are getting educated, but people also have a lot of soft skills that is developing in India
Hmm.
because of whatever structure that we have.
Mhm.
Now, I am talking about the new generation. Older generation didn't have that. Like, if you think about the engineers, they would do something with the computer, but they won't be able to talk, convince, sell.
Yeah.
But today's generation is coming different. I'm talking about the new Gen Zs. While people say no, Gen Zs are not good, I think they have a potential. They are crazy communicators
Yeah.
if they really learn.
Learn.
And they need time, right? You need to nurture them. So yeah, that's what I started doing. I started working with B2B business owners, helping them set up their operations. Because I realized that most B2B business owners, क्या होता है? They are the biggest experts in the business.
Yeah.
और B2B business owners कैसे बनते हैं? वो कहीं पे काम करते हैं, सीखते हैं, और उनको रियलाइज होता है अच्छा यार मैं भी करा
मैं भी
सकता हूँ
करा
इसको।
सकता हूँ।
तो वो चालू तो कर देते हैं, लेकिन वो भूल जाते हैं कि यार मैं भी कर सकता हूँ या फिर मैं भी करवा सकता हूँ is very different in comparison to मैं इससे business बना सकता हूँ. So what happens is over the years 5 साल 10 साल तब तक भी these business owners continue to serve the client, and these people are only selling, these people are only servicing, and these people are only handling escalations, while they have team members of 15-20 people
To do the same.
right? So this is like a very real situation that happens, and I am sure all of us have seen such businesses, agencies, IT services, staffing, multiple agencies,
Yeah.
right? They all are stuck in that problem. So I realized, okay, what can I solve specifically for B2B service business owner? So what I say is, get out of operations in 90 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is something new.
Now, I don't mean complete operations here. What I mean is get out of something that eats up your time and free up to 10 hours per week in your service business. And that's where the whole structure, because I consolidated my 7 years of working in the service business. क्योंकि मैं खुद भी देख रहा था बिजनेस ओनर को स्ट्रगल करते हुए, मैं खुद भी स्ट्रगल कर रहा था.
Yeah.
Then I worked at a service business, which was a business coaching company. Then I realized that my clients were also service businesses. So then I was like, okay, if I have so much understanding, why not consolidate all that knowledge, structure it, and help people in a faster way? So yeah, that's when I started working with B2B service business owners.
You've pinpointed, one thing that when we deal with these business owners, they basically want to do everything by their own, right? When we say that, I mean, if you look at the surface, they really want to get out of it.
Yeah.
You'll see at times, everything is just coming upon me. Everything is something that I am doing and all of those things. But if you go into a deeper level, you will see that they only want the things to happen according to them.
Absolutely.
So, there is a gap, there is a shift that needs to happen. And because you said you also work on the mindset of them, so, what is your secret mantra to it?
Oh, so I think this is such a relevant problem. And every business owner that I meet, they would tell me that, hey, you know what, Abhay, I want to get out of operations.
Yeah.
I want to ensure that everything goes to my team and gets done. But the moment they give something to the team members, they will be the one to snatch it first.
True.
And that's where I say that there are multiple things to work on, and that's when I have been able to come up with the 5M Founder Freedom Framework. Okay, and this 5M Founder Freedom Framework is a consolidation of my experience, learnings from my mentors, and it says the first M is mindset, the second M is model, third M is method, fourth M is manpower, and fifth one is momentum. Now, like you said, the first and the biggest challenge is that most business owners see themselves as a problem solver rather than a business owner. So what happens as a problem solver is, if you really look at it, अगर कुछ हो रहा है और मैं अगर खुद को सबसे बेस्ट प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर सोचता हूँ, तो क्या करूंगा मैं खुद ही जाके करने की कोशिश करूंगा. और लेट्स अज्यूम कि कोई और कर रहा है, तो विल आई लाइक इट? नो,
मैं इससे बेटर कर सकता हूँ.
एग्जैक्टली द पॉइंट. मैं इससे बेटर, फास्टर, बगैर मिस्टेक्स ही कर सकता हूँ और सामने वाले को खुश रख सकता हूँ. And that becomes the biggest challenge, because if there are no problems, then you don't have anything to do, because you are seeing yourself only as a problem solver. And that's the biggest challenge. You need to be a leader, builder. You need to be a business owner in real. Otherwise, you'll always stay stuck, because जब इमरजेंसी होगी तब तुमको बुलाया जाएगा, और इमरजेंसी नहीं होगी तो इमरजेंसी बनाई जाएगी, क्योंकि आपको रेलेवेंट रहना ना बिजनेस में. So what you will do, you will build dependency. You will build dependency by telling that ये मेरे से करवाना,
हाँ,
ये रेट जो है ना
ये मैं
ये
ही
तुम मेरे से
finalize
लेने के
करूँ.
बाद ही फाइनल करना.
I agree.
Right, so they end up building that dependency.
Yeah.
And that's why I say there's this very famous framework called as 7 neurological levels that I recommend everybody who's a viewer, if you really want to go through change in something in life,
Yeah.
you can follow this. Okay, now what is this framework? So it's like there are 7 layers. The most below layer is environment. The number one question that you need to ask yourself is, are you working at the right place, with the right people, in the right mindset, thinking the right things? That's what creates your environment, right? It's people, places, and things.
Things.
You need to really evaluate that. Then you go one level up.
Up.
Go and evaluate, okay, what are your behaviors like? What are your general behaviors? Do you really help others grow, or do you really think you give something and the moment they do something, you pull it back? If that's your general behavior, you'll never be able to build it.
Yeah.
Right? Then think of, oh, do you have the capability? Do you have the capability to stay patient?
Patient, yeah. Let them.
Yeah, let them do it. Do you have the capability to let people fail?
Yeah.
Like to be able to see that. Right? It's one of the capabilities, because you need to develop that as a skill to be able to help others.
Yeah.
Then you evaluate, okay, do I have those beliefs? Can I see myself as a business owner, or do I see myself as कि यार मेरा business तो हमेशा मेरे पे dependent ही रहेगा, market खराब रहता है हमेशा. If you say these things, do you think you'll be able to build a business?
You'll be able to scale it, I should say.
Yeah. Will you be able to scale it? No. The point is, if your belief is कि अगर मैं एक बैट लेके जा रहा हूँ लेकिन मैं ये बोलूँ कि यार मैं तो छक्का मार ही नहीं सकता, तो मैं क्या अगर मार भी पाऊंगा तो नहीं मार पाऊंगा, because my brain will stop, my hands will stop, they'll be like, accept the command in the head.
Yeah.
What's the command? You can't hit it. That's the base. Then you go back and evaluate, what are the values that you live by?
Okay.
What according to you is your guiding forces? Right? Some people have the value of helping others. Some people have a value of staying important.
Yeah.
Right? So is your value guiding the goal that you have?
Yeah.
Then you go one layer up and identify कि यार क्या मेरी identity match कर रही है? What I want to be. If I don't see myself as the best batsman, I may not be able to play on the pitch like a best batsman.
True. I agree.
Right? And then at times when you don't have the identity, you need to look at what is the mission that you're actually trying to achieve.
What is
Right?
the end goal?
What's the end goal like? Now, you may say, Abhay, bata to diya yaar, what does this really mean? Now look from up.
Okay.
Think of the mission. Let's say if you have a mission that I want to build a business that makes 10 crores every single year with my team members taking care of tasks. What do you think you will have to work on? You'll have to first work on identity. What is the identity that I need to have as a business owner?
Business owner, yeah.
So who is able to achieve this mission? So you will link it. So you will come down. अच्छा ठीक है, चलो identity हो गई. What are the values? What should be my guiding forces through which I should take decisions? Then you will look at, okay, now that I have my guiding forces, what are the beliefs that I need to have in my own self so that I can achieve the goal? Then you go one level down. Okay, what are the capabilities that I need to develop in my own self to be able to make that happen? Because beliefs के बाद आपको कुछ करना पड़ेगा. Then once you develop that capability, it will become a behavior.
Yeah.
And once you create a behavior, you will change the environment that you are in. Now that's how you look at it. Look at any success story. While they had the struggle, they didn't change the environment first. They changed their mission. And mission changed their identity. Mission changed their values, beliefs, capabilities, behaviors, and then they changed their environment. Which is they now grow in life, they are living in a bigger house, they are more successful. If you really look at all the stories, you'll find this pattern, because this is how our brain works. So this is what I cover in mindset. Because this is the biggest challenge in most people. People don't look at it.
True. I agree.
See, what got you here won't get you there.
There, yeah.
Right? You need to upgrade the way you think.
The identity shift actually has
Absolutely,
to
right?
happen.
Identity shift, one of the most important things.
Hmm.
If you look at it, if a mother is there, she is usually soft, but do
Yeah.
something to her children and you
Oh,
will see a
damn.
warrior.
Hmm.
What is that? That's an identity shift,
Yeah.
right? So you need to play multiple identities in the business,
Hmm.
but it depends on what is the mission that you have
Yeah.
that helps you define what is the identity you carry.
This completely makes sense. Also, I would just like to add one thing to it. When I talk to these coaches and business owners, they say that there is a particular pattern that is given to us, and we have to go through that. But to me, I feel like this level of understanding is important rather than just that okay, my business coach has given it to me and now I have to do it. I have to fill this out and then I have to give it back to the business coach. So that's something that we're doing really wrong, and I really want that people like you in the industry should explain it us to us, people like us. Even I should consider myself in the same category. Maybe I want to reach somewhere else, and the plan and everything has to change. Apart that, there's one small thing also that I had to take away was, even if a business owner wants to solve some kind of problems, or let's say they want to be a part of that business, they still have 24 hours, no?
Absolutely.
I mean, the client, if you want to increase the client base, if you want to increase the revenue, you need manpower for it.
Absolutely. And that's where it is. By the way, most business owners have created their business around them.
Ah, true.
Now, because of that, what happens is when you are the nucleus of a whole body, the whole world will revolve around you only. Right? And like you said, if we have only 24 hours, how is Jeff Bezos able to build Amazon? How is McDonald's running?
Yeah.
Look at any business that has scaled, the business owner has same 24 hours.
True.
Right? How have they been able to do that? The second thing that I talk about, that's where is the model. Creating a business model that does not require you to be at the nucleus. That does not require you in the between. It does not depend on you completely. And that's where most business owners don't accept this. And by the way, they get very offended when I tell that we'll have to probably work on your model, because they'll be like, अच्छा तुम बताओगे, अच्छा इतने साल से हम कर रहे तुम बताओगे. And I say, hey, you know what? We will look at it. I don't even offend them. I say, we will look at it. And when they come to the session, then I ask, hey, what happened? And they tell me the customer category, and I say, no wonder your business is not growing. Because if you have to work with 15 kind of clients, you need 15 contexts.
Yeah.
You are the business owner who is willing to hustle. Your team won't. Their goals are different than you.
Different. Yeah.
You are trying to achieve something that you have dreamt of. For them, dreams are different.
Different. Yeah.
And you can't expect them to keep changing the context and be able to perform the same way.
Yeah.
No wonder you have not been able to handle clients well. Your team is struggling. Because if you work with 15 kind of clients, 15 kind of stories, 15 kind of mental models to remember, how is it realistic? And that's where, if you really look at it, any business which has grown, like if I was thinking about Amazon, they figured out, hey, you know what, we want to sell something. We will sell anything and everything on the internet. Right? They made sure their core is same.
Same.
And then they started developing layer. They started with books.
Yeah.
Amazon started selling with books. Did they start with everything? No. Why? They wanted
Specific,
to,
yeah.
they wanted to target a specific kind of audience,
yeah.
provide them a specific kind of solution first. And once they realize, oh, great, we've reached a certain level, let's get into it. So even if you look at the website today, you will realize that there are categories mentioned.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why have they not just mentioned it cluttered? That's because they understand that each category is a different audience, requires a different understanding, different processes, different teams. There's a different model in it. And that's what is the problem. Most Indian business owners don't pay attention to their model. They don't know why are they working with somebody. So when we work on model, we identify who are you working with. Are they the best kind of people that you love working with? Are they the ones who give you the best benefit?
Yeah.
And can you provide services later on as an additional thing? Rather than reaching out to more audiences, can you choose one audience and solve more of their problems? And until you reach that level where you are like, hey, you know what, Abhay, there is nothing more to solve for them. Let's go. And there are some companies which also develop this model where they say, I will solve the problem for multiple people. More than welcome.
Yeah.
That
that's also
clarity
fine.
has to be celebrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what my problem is that you don't have the clarity and you're still doing it.
There's a clutter, you know, there's a mess
Absolutely.
that is happening.
Absolutely.
So just one thing to add over, you said core, right?
Yeah.
And then when we said target audience, you said niche. So
Yeah.
what is the alignment between both of these?
So what you need to understand is, until you know who you are solving it for, you won't be able to develop how you function,
Yeah.
how you really want to structure your whole company, how you want to structure the delivery. So when I said that the business owner becomes the core of everything, once you realize that who are the kind of customers, what are we solving them for, and what are we getting in return, and is it in alignment to what goal we want to achieve? Once we realize that, then we say, hey, you know what? Let's move to developing methods which does not require the business owner. The business owner becomes the knowledge library. He becomes the biggest knowledge base in the company, but he's not the one on whom the things are dependent. So then we start working on processes.
Systems, you said.
Yeah. Right. So what happens is we help them clearly write down, hey, what do you really do? Let's get everything in your brain out on paper. Because most organizations today are structured chaos. They have everything in the mind of the business owner, in the mind of the team members, nothing on paper. The problem is tomorrow if your team member leaves, why do you fear so much? Because you don't have anything on the paper. You do not have a system.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem.
Isn't that also a part of training? We say that
Absolutely.
business model needs
Absolutely.
training.
Absolutely. Because the moment you define who do you want to work with, what's the next thing? How? How will you do that? 5W1H.
Yeah.
Right? People need to know that what has to happen, how it has to happen. And see, after some time, once people are trained, that's a different scene. But until they are trained, until they are very sufficient with it, you need to give them, because common sense is not so common.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
You might say, अरे ये ऐसे ऐसे कर देना.
हाँ.
वो सेम चीज वो खुद जाके करता है, बट उसके अंडरस्टैंडिंग में वो ये वो हो गया. And the whole context shifts.
It's changed actually.
That's why clients suffer. Because then the client starts complaining that, you know what, I want you in the meeting. I want you in the sales meeting. I want you in the operations
Everywhere.
meeting. I want you. And the business owner's life becomes a mess.
Yeah. For how many clients?
Yeah.
No, he'll be there.
Yeah. And then they start losing confidence on their business.
Yeah.
So my recommendation to any business owner who is watching this session is to please look at your model, take pen and paper, go back to your board and go look at, okay, who am I working with? Are they the right kind of people? How do I make it work without me?
Yeah.
Then go back to your method creation, where you create the processes, where you write down clearly and get out of it. You write down not in a way that you just want to give it to them. No, you dumb it down. You dumb it down to a level that somebody, if I join your organization tomorrow, I should be able to at least know what it means.
Yeah. That understanding should happen.
Right?
in the
Once
team
that
language.
happens, you will be able to become clear about how do I give it to people, how do I track it, and how do I make sure that these guys continue to develop. Because once you know the process, now if they are making mistakes, what could be the reason? Either they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the skills, or they don't have the attitude.
Yeah.
So now you have a very clear understanding कि भाई मेरे को ये करवाना है, हो नहीं रहा है, रूट कॉज एनालिसिस किया, मेरे को पता चला अच्छा इसको ज्ञान नहीं है पहले, अच्छा ज्ञान आ गया है लेकिन ये बार बार कर नहीं पा रहा है, अच्छा स्किल डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी, अच्छा ये बार बार कर नहीं पा रहा है, नहीं ज्ञान और स्किल दोनों आ गए लेकिन वो मन से नहीं कर पा रहा है. You go back to your attitude where you look at self-image, motives and traits.
Also, you know, there was one small thing when we said training, right? I don't know. I have seen this thing inside business owners. The moment they train somebody, okay, first of all, it's very difficult to, you know, put them into this, that you have to train somebody on how you are thinking and how you want the team to work. Oh God, that's a hell lot of a task. But let's say even for once we made them do that, the moment that person leaves the organization, you'll see they're not ready to train the other person.
Absolutely. And you remember I was talking about beliefs? You know what beliefs they develop? They say people leave. What's the point of
Yeah.
training?
True. I agree.
What's the point of hiring a new person? I will do it myself because they'll leave.
Yeah.
That's the eternal truth. Everybody will leave, even from the world.
Mm.
Right? But that doesn't mean we'll stop living today.
No, but how do you change that mindset? No, they're like, they come up with these things. I've seen these business owners coming up. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. A lot of man force is required. You need a trainer. Even if you want their time to train the other person, they're not ready for that. But they're ready to sit on every client call.
Yeah,
But they're
absolutely.
not ready.
Absolutely. So, I was telling this yesterday in a client session. I was telling this every business owners think in 4 terms:
Okay.
quality, quantity, time, cost. Okay, they think like this.
Yeah. True.
So, what happens is they are thinking of, oh, time and cost investment is heavy now.
I agree.
But they forget that this time and cost investment today will give them better quantity and quality of results tomorrow.
Yeah.
They miss that. And that's why I say every client that I work with, I congratulate them and I appreciate them for that. Because it takes a different fabric of a business owner to think like that, where you first invest
Yeah.
and then expect returns. आग लग जाए तो लकड़ी ले आऊंगा, ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है. Right? You need to invest.
Prepare yourself.
Right?
Yeah,
And
for the
leave
same.
alone that part. I'm saying सेम चीज 2 घरों में अलग होती है.
हाँ.
आपके घर पे चाय अलग बनेगी, मेरे घर पे चाय अलग बनेगी.
Yeah.
And it's not like there's a drastic difference, but there is a way of doing it in every company.
Yeah.
Why? Because there are certain values that we run by, right? And business owners forget that. They say, अच्छा करना चालू कर दो, figure out कर लो. वो जब figure out करना चालू कर देता है, तो फिर इनको लगता है, यार, why is he not following him? ये गलत कैसे कर रहा है? ये mistake ऐसे कैसे कर दिया? You gave the freedom. You didn't train him enough.
Yeah.
You know why training has to happen? So their brain accepts the way you want it, rather than their own brain running. Because see, it's like this. एक पंछी जिसको कोई बाउंड्री नहीं है, वो कहाँ भी उड़ सकता है, right? But if you want somebody to run a structured way, because you want a certain output, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I don't want people बंदिशों में नहीं रखना है किसी को भी, but the point is, because you need a certain output, you need to give them a certain training.
Yeah.
And even though they have worked at a similar organization, even though they have had a lot of experience, that still doesn't mean that they don't need trainings.
Yeah.
They need skills trainings, they need knowledge trainings, they need attitude trainings.
Yeah. I agree.
Right? And most of them will keep complaining, but they will not invest in it. You can see it. कि यार बंदे में ये problem है, but they won't work on it. Because that's the hard part, to accept that we will have to help people grow. That's why I was telling, what are the values that you are living by? Do you live by the value that I help people grow and in return they help the organization grow? Or do you think I will invest the least and I will get the most from them? And that's what guides most people.
No, but that fails,
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't go for a very long period of time.
And that's where it is. They don't do this in the start, and then they
Yeah.
start losing confidence on their own business. They start losing confidence on their clients, and they start losing confidence on their teams, and they start losing confidence on their dreams.
Yeah, it happens.
So that's what I'm saying. You need to be able to first be clear about what you want people to do. That the only way to do it is to follow this process. And then, like you said, people, right? In service businesses, the biggest asset that you have is people.
Yeah.
Invest in them. You don't have a product, which means what? The biggest output that you will get is through productivity of people, is through the thought process of people, is through the innovative thinking of your team members.
Yeah.
But no, people will not do it. Because see, once you know that there is a certain process that needs to be followed, you will be able to realize that, okay, what are the skill sets required? What is the
Yeah.
knowledge required? What is the self-image required? What is the motive required? What is the trait required? And once you are clear with that, then you know. Then it's like a clarity. सामने लिखा हुआ है भाई, अच्छा ये चाहिए, तो आपकी hiring better हो जाएगी. अपने आप आपकी ट्रेनिंग बेटर हो जाएगी, आपकी मेंटरिंग बेटर हो जाएगी, और आपकी फायरिंग भी बेटर हो जाएगी. Right? Most business owners can't accept the fact they have to fire somebody.
Yeah, I was just coming to that one.
Right? But here's my point. If you don't tell them the truth, they will live in an illusion.
Yeah.
and you can handle it to a certain point, then you will realize that it is costing you. Then you will remove them. They will have a bad name for you for sure, but they will also turn as a victim, telling that इतने दिन से तो करा रहे थे, अभी कैसे पता चला. That's why taking decisions is very, very important. That's why when you develop processes and when you build people, you need to give authority to people, autonomy. You need to give it to people. You need to define what's the boundaries of decisions they can take. If you don't do that, then you sit on it. Right? At times you need to take decisions first.
True.
As a business owner. And at times decisions may feel as if, hey, am I being selfish about the company?
Yeah.
But at the core of it is, your company is the core, right? You need to look at that lens. And if you can balance, is great.
Great. Amazing.
But if you can't, if you don't see a proper win-win, then what happens? You will have to honor the company, right? Because it's feeding a family of 30, 50, 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Right? You will have to honor that. While you're honoring the guilt in your head. यार इसको निकाल दूंगा तो ये मैनेज कैसे करेगा? अरे भाई, nobody is dependent on anybody.
Yeah, this is not
right. I was reading this book, what is the 4 agreements. And there are 4 agreements that we need to make with ourselves as people.
Okay.
If you want to grow. The first agreement is always be impeccable with words.
Okay.
Nothing lesser than best. Second, never take anything personally. Third, never assume anything. And fourth, always do your best. If you follow these 4 agreements with yourself, nobody else in the world, with yourself, you will be the best version of yourself. There's nothing else. Because you will lose the comparison also.
Yeah.
Because you're not assuming, right? You'll try to see things, ask questions. Acha, I'm not a certain level. Can I go to that? Can I do my best?
Yeah.
So that clarity comes in. But most people don't ask this question to themselves. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world.
Yeah.
Right? What thoughts you think become your beliefs. And what beliefs you build turn into feelings. And what feelings you build turn into actions. Which means what you think negative, you build negative beliefs, you have negative feelings. What actions you take?
Negative.
You think positive, you believe in positive things, you build positive things. What actions you take?
Positive.
Right? And think about it. This has happened in our own life. Think about it. If I was sad and if I have to do this podcast, can I do it? No, right? Because I need to be in certain mindset to be able to do it. I need to think certain way. I need to believe certain things. I need to have certain feelings of it. And that's when I can act.
Yeah.
So this is what I've been telling business owners, but most people only think of the visibles.
Yeah.
The real magic is in invisibles. What
stuffs.
builds us, right? And to be honest, if you are struggling, please look inward. That's the first place to look at. While you're looking at the most logical things, right? कि यार अरे हमारी marketing ही ठीक नहीं है. There's a possibility that you don't have clarity. You are building confusion in your team members because you don't know what goals you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the point. So coming back to the point of manpower, how do you really build manpower?
Yeah.
You need to think about what training, development, coaching, mentoring that we need to provide to team members. And you need to develop structure and do it again and again and again. What you know what people do? They provide one-time training and they expect the results to come. No. Right? If you think your processes are not being followed, please give them training once a month.
Again. Yeah.
To a point that they say, sir, you know what? I know everything now.
It's in my...
It's in my blood.
Yeah.
Right? But you know what most business owners will do? They'll tell, hey, you know what? Here's the training. Da 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 da. No personality development that happens in that training. And they say, training to hua tha, kyun nahi hua improvement? No.
This is not how it works.
Developing capabilities requires repetitions.
Yeah.
Skills के लिए repetition की बहुत ज़रूरी होती है.
No, practice makes that
Absolutely.
perfect, no?
Absolutely.
That's how it is.
So that's what needs to happen when you really want your team members to produce output. You need to do it again and again and again. And you need to keep investing. Trust me, lifelong learning is the ultimate truth that we need to accept. And it's for your teams, it's for you, it's for your families. And the moment you stop it, you know the problems that will come up.
Yeah.
We'll start seeing it.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is the whole element that most people miss, and I've been helping people do this better. And then once this happens, the fifth thing of managing the momentum. How do you control things? How do you manage things? So I was telling this to a client yesterday. Control the controllables, manage the uncontrollables.
Okay.
Right?
You
What?
need to repeat that to me again to assess it.
So think about this. Most things in business are not controllable.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things that are controllable. So you control the controllables. What can you control? You can control how people are taking actions by giving them trainings, by helping them develop their attitude. But there are some macroeconomic factors. अरे यार oil नहीं आ रहा है ठीक से. We don't have a control on that. We can manage it. Right? A lot of things in the company that are not controllable. You manage them. But this has to be a continuous management philosophy. Control the controllables, manage the uncontrollables. Right? And you need to do it consistently.
Consistently, yeah.
Right? So managing, controlling the team's performance, helping them come up with newer plans, newer ways of thinking, newer ways of doing things.
Letting them, flow.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Explore and develop their own selves. Right? Creating systems so that now it is on repetition. You don't need that. Making sure that people are learning through people.
Yeah.
That is what comes in. And then comes your new strategies. Because once you're free as a business owner, that's when you will focus on making more money.
Yeah.
That's when you will focus on marketing and sales. You know what? Most people, when they talk to me, they will say, Abhay, you know what? Leave operations, will focus on marketing and sales. And I sit with them, and in first session itself, they'll be like, Abhay, you know what? There's an escalation. My team is calling. I'll take that. And that's why I say, it's the first operations that will solve. Then we'll move. Because until you get free as a business owner, you will never be able to have enough time and clarity to work on marketing and sales.
You also said this 90 days thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How do you get free from operations in 90 days?
So see, here's the thing. It's not like you will, there's jadoo ki chhadi that'll make it work. No, not at all. So what I do is, in the 90 days, I work with them on mindset first,
Okay.
where we come up with clear goals, understanding. Then we think of, okay, what's the model that we want to build? Take a decision, and then we evaluate, where is the business owner actually stuck? Where is his time going? यार अगर सबके पास ही 8 से 12 घंटे तो तुम्हारा टाइम ले जा कर रहा है. You know what's one irony that I've known? Most business owners work first 8-hour shift for their team and clients, then they work a 4 to 6 hour shift for their own self, telling that अबे मेरा काम तो मैं शाम में करूंगा, अभी तो मैं टीम का काम कर रहा हूँ.
अच्छा.
And I'm like,
तो टीम क्यों हायर करी आपने?
क्यों हायर करी है? What's the point? Right? And then they would be so proud about it that अबे you know what, escalation आ गया था, मैंने solve कर दिया यार. So what I do is, I first identify how many hours in a week is the business owner giving in operations, marketing and sales.
Okay.
And then in operations, how many hours is he giving to client servicing, to escalation management, to team handling. And first identify what's that 2-hour break that I can give him.
Yeah.
How can I remove that 2-hour time from his schedule by developing a process, system, structure with them. And that's what I was saying. 90 days to get out of one sub-function in operations. क्योंकि जब आपका टाइम फ्री होगा तो वो 2 घंटे कहाँ यूज करोगे? आप तो जंप करने लगोगे मार्केटिंग सेल्स में. नो, नहीं वहां नहीं जाना है. You will have to again continue doing the same process and then develop it to a level that in 6 months to 1 year you get so free that you can take care of marketing and sales completely.
Yeah.
Most business owners are not stuck in marketing and sales. They're not struggling for revenue. They're struggling to free their time first.
Yeah.
They're struggling to build a system which runs without them so that they can take care of revenue generation and growth activities in business. And to be able to do that, you follow this 5 M's. This is like a free guide. I've given to everybody. I've given to everybody. If you want to take it, you take it.
No, you've not just given us a secret mantra. You've also, put up these truth bombs all along the side that this is what we're missing, this is what we're missing. So I'll not dig in a little more deeper and I'll not make it a little more depressing for the business owners because this much truth bombs are not needed right now. So I'll take you to the other level of it where, right now, You've been into IIM, right? You've spoken about how to become a successful entrepreneur, how to
Yeah.
start these.
Yeah.
So let's talk about anybody who is thinking to start off with their journey as a business owner, right?
See, I keep visiting IIT Bombay, NIFT,
Yeah.
and multiple other colleges across India. And when I see youngsters coming up with things, what I see is that the only angle they think is, how can I start something?
Yeah.
Which is good as a starting point. But the problem is that if you do not have clarity of why you want to do it, you'll fizzle out. After some time, there are co-founders, team members. थोड़े सालों बाद टाटा बाय बाय हो जाता है.
दोस्ती दोस्ती में शुरू भी कर लेते हैं
हाँ.
कॉलेज में.
Oh man, I can tell you 100 stories about this. I've seen so many founders, couples, friends who
Yeah.
started, and that's where it is, clarity. That's what I recommend. People do not have difficult conversations. I think one thing that's most important is having that clarity of why you're doing it. And if you're doing it with somebody, having that difficult conversation of how we will handle it if it doesn't work. Right? Because I've seen a lot of people towards the end of the year, they'll start taking up jobs.
Yeah.
In the start, they'll be motivated.
Yeah.
कि यार चलो ठीक है करते करते हैं मस्ती मस्ती में. Now that when the life gets serious, they move to the direction of job. That's why I say have the clarity. Business is a journey. It's not a sprint, which means what? You can't finish it soon. Even if you look at all the startups today who are raising funding, who are in this valuation game and exiting game, even they are playing long games of 5 to 10 years
minimum.
Which means what? You need to develop the fabric where you are patient, where you're understanding, where you're taking action, and where you are developing yourself every single day. That's what is required to get started.
Yeah.
Most people fail there. Most people get excited and just do it.
That makes sense.
And the excitement falls, motivation गिर जाता है.
Sometime, it just takes some time. And
Absolutely.
Then it
So
happens.
that's where it is.
Also, when let's say if you have the clarity, you have the idea, right? So now, as you said, fundings and everything. So we get into this area of getting ourselves funds and everything. Of course, we pass a particular fund or we get the fund when, we have the structure, not exactly, I should say, a proper structure that we could make a system out of it, but then a clarity that this is where I want to go. Some, examples of, okay, this is how we've been doing it. Maybe some people actually see the revenue and then they fund. So there are other sections to it also. But how much do you see funding as a helpful tool, or you see it as a trap? Because I've heard from a lot of people it's kind of a trap and there's no exit.
Absolutely. So see, I've been working with old school business owners, to be honest. On the other side, this is my way of giving back when I work with IIT Bombay students and people across the country. What I see is most people don't lack funding. They lack the intent of marketing and selling first.
I agree.
They get into this trap because all they think is, hey, you know what, how do we do it faster?
Yeah.
But the problem is that if your basics are not right, no matter how much money you have, you will fall down. And that's where it is, if your basics are right. I'll again go back to mindset model. If your model is right, if you know who you are selling to, what you are selling, and is it solving big enough problem that it'll pay for you, start marketing. People don't take that plunge. Tell me, here's my question to you. What's the easiest, simplest way to get 1,000 views about your product or service?
Just go out and, say about it. Again, market, be it on social media, be it anywhere.
Absolutely, right? Social media. Most people don't do that. They say we will have a agency that will hire it. We need to maintain our branding. Our logos need to be right. I agree to that.
Yeah.
That is required. But you need to have the clarity. And ऐसा नहीं है ना कि आप funding लोगे तो आपको वापस नहीं करना है.
हाँ.
And they're expecting something in return.
Yeah.
And if you do not have enough clarity and you take funding, what are you losing? You're losing your credibility.
So that market research has to
absolutely.
happen. You have to go in that
and
market.
Entrepreneurs fail. I absolutely accept that as a fact.
True.
And I'm open to it. But the problem is that lack of clarity, raising funding, and then blaming it on the market. That's like covering up personal failure with an excuse, telling that the market didn't respond well to our expectations. We designed a certain product, but they didn't like it.
Yeah.
No, that's lack of clarity, right? So you need to figure out. You need to be able to clear things. And in the name of hustle, all that happens with people is they keep thinking.
Yeah.
They don't take action. They don't invest in marketing and sales.
It's all in their head, no?
My advice to any founder who is getting started is get started with marketing and sales. Even if you don't have it ready. I think there were these two kids who started papad achar from Bihar. They were marketing themselves on social media. They were in a railway station talking in front of hundreds of people, and they were uploading videos, and they were going viral again and again and again. Tell me, what's the faster, better way to reach audience?
True.
And you have seen a lot of brands have gotten the transaction.
Yeah.
They have gotten the understanding of the market because they have been in the market. And the more you interact with people, you will realize at times you might have to pivot. ऐसे clarity तो किसी को नहीं है कि भाई पूरा कर लेंगे, किसी को नहीं पता है. Right? Biggest of the founders are also struggling. They are also moving with market. They are also facing challenges and they are figuring things out.
Yeah. One
But-
step at a time.
Absolutely. Right? So you need to be in the journey. If you think, नहीं भाई सब fast करना है, नहीं होगा. You will lose it some or the other way. Some or the other thing will not work. So you need to have that depth.
Yeah. So let's say, anybody who's starting off, like I've seen a lot of brands, going through viral through social media only, and they have started off, they have generated revenue as well. Do you think that's the right way to start? Or let's say there are other ways that people can start with?
See, there's no right and wrong way according to
Yeah,
me.
of course.
There's a way that is working for you. There's a way that's not working for you. Right? I've seen some people not even having products or services, but being able to build distribution and then building products or services. If you look at a lot of content creators, first they built an audience.
Yeah.
They were promoting other people's product, and now they have their own products to sell.
Yeah.
That's also a smart way to do it. Right? If not that, build your own audience for your own product. But you'll have to think differently. You can't be thinking the same way and expecting different results. Right? You'll have to put that work. And I think a lot of, I learned this from a lot of Mahavadi families. They say, 3 saal, 1,000 din,
Huh.
minimum.
Huh.
You give to anything. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, you pivot.
Oh, that's a great,
Yeah,
advice.
like you look at their stores, they'll be like, I'll choose a location, I'll sit here for 3 years minimum.
That.
Right? If you have seen this movie called as Mohenjo-daro, they say 3 barish.
Huh. I've seen that movie.
Right? So they say 3 barish to test a business.
Test it.
Right? So it means it's a journey. It takes time.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a startup, 3 साल में तो आपको सब कुछ कर लेना है.
No, actually, we
Yeah.
guys are running on this track where we
Yeah.
feel like, अब सब कुछ बस.
ऐसे हो जाए.
हाँ.
But you know it will take time. It is taking time already. You are
Yeah.
losing time anyways.
Yeah.
You might as well do what you really want to do.
Hmm.
You might as well just slow down and look back. Oh, what did not work out? How can I make it work out?
So that analyzation is really
Absolutely.
important.
People don't do that reflection. The only reflection they do is on logics. Right? Most logical thing, हमारा product ऐसा है, हम ये feature add कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे. They don't look back to their own self.
I agree.
So, yeah, I say your business is a reflection of you, which means what? If you have to improve your business, you need to change or look inside whatever is not working. Most times it's just small realizations, right? Change is not something coming, Akashvani nahi aati hai change. That one mindset shift, the change in the perspective, the change in how you look at things, that's what is the transformation.
Also, I feel like, this is a point where we actually need a coach sometimes.
Absolutely, you need somebody to be able to bounce off your thoughts, have somebody as a sounding board, at times somebody who asks you questions.
Right questions. at
Absolutely,
times,
right?
yeah.
Like as a coach, if you really ask me, I am not somebody who will write things for you.
True.
I'll ask you questions, you gain clarity, you build it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because the coach's job is to develop the ability, develop the mindset to be able to reach there.
I agree.
And-
They have the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. We have all the answers in our own selves. There's a possibility that there are some answers that we don't know. We can acquire that.
Yeah.
But most times, when it comes to decision making, we know what we want to do. We're just waiting for validation,
Yeah. From someone.
right? We want somebody to say, yeah, you're right. The other person may not know, dude. They have never walked into your shoes. They have never stepped into your life.
I agree.
So that's why I don't believe that advices work a lot.
A lot, yeah.
And at least in the kind of business owners that I work with, I've seen coaching works really well because they know, they have had the experience of 5, 10, 15 साल इतना experience market देख लिया है कि उनको पता है क्या चलता है क्या नहीं चलता है. It's just that they are not able to implement. That's
Yeah.
what I work with them. I have conversation, I help them figure out, oh, are you clear? Are you willing to take action? And if you're willing to take action, how will you do it? How do we hold you accountable? Because most business owners do not have anybody to be accountable to.
Yeah.
So that's where the conversation comes, where you're respectful to somebody, you ask questions and they realize, yeah, I should have done that. And it's not about telling that, why didn't you do it? I just ask, hey, where do you think you were stuck? What stopped you from doing it?
Yeah, again, the right questions, you know,
Absolutely.
I said. The coaches actually hit you sometimes on the spots that you don't realize.
Absolutely.
All right. I mean, hell lot of a conversation. I feel like I feel like so heavy having this conversation in my head, but then I'll come back to this point where I really want you, like while wrapping it up, you to burst out these myths, you know, that people have, because the kind of business owners you have been dealing with, the startups that come up to you with, the founders, the agencies, you knowing that this is a myth, this is something that, you know, you have it in your heart, and maybe these people are not even reaching you out just because they have it in their heads, right? So I really want you to address them first.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest myths that I have seen is you have to be available everywhere. No, you don't have to be. You have to be available in front of your customers.
No.
That's one of your biggest challenge. You're not doing that. That's a big myth. People start YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, सब कुछ और फिर कुछ नहीं होता.
इकट्ठे.
कहीं पे भी नहीं होता कुछ भी. That's the biggest challenge. And I say, this is a myth. You don't have to be everywhere. First, you master one.
Yeah.
Build connection with people and then move forward. Second, my team will leave me. Right? That's a myth and a truth both.
Both, yeah.
But the real fact is that people will move on in the journey of growth. At times they will grow together. At times they will grow apart.
Apart, yeah.
Right? So you will have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
At times you will hit some roadblocks. They are not to show that you're not capable. They are to show that you need to now level up. Right? Most people stop and start looking back. No, at times you just need to look straight. Look at, okay, what is the mission? How do we really cross it? Right? Fourth, business is a reflection of you. No matter what you say, my product तगड़ा है, सब है, until you correct it.
चल रही है.
Right, absolutely. Right, your business is a reflection of you. And the fifth one is the more you think on the problems, the more you will see problems. The more you focus on growth, the more you will see opportunities for growth. So one of my mentor says, and I'm very thankful to him, he says, where your attention goes, energy flows.
I agree.
Right? So yeah, that's how it is. You focus on something and you'll be able to grow it. As simple as that. Most times you're focusing on too many things. Pinpoint your focus, solve it at a time, and then move to the next one. We have taken this badge of multitasker as very seriously, and we are not able to execute anything.
Yeah.
That's one of the most common challenges that I've seen in business owner. What I recommend them is, you take something, you complete it, say no to some people, stop some people from coming to you. Like there was a time when I met a business owner in the start of the journey. He had people coming 60 times in a day. 8 hours में अगर कोई 60 बार उनके पास आ रहा है, अलग अलग लोग, क्या ही focus कर पाएगा? By the end of the journey, obviously we reduced it to 10.
Oh, finally.
So what happened was his brain didn't have to go through that context switch. By the way, वो कुछ बोल भी नहीं रहा था. हाँ, ना, बाद में देखते हैं. These were the 3 constant answers that were there. Right? That's why I was saying, define decisions. Right? Define who can take what decisions, and if beyond that you are needed, then you streamline it. कि भाई इस घंटे में ही होगा. As simple as that. At times we may hate big companies for having processes जहाँ पे वो हमको रुका के रखते एक घंटे के लिए. But think of the volume that they are handling.
Yeah.
Right? They want to ensure that it is done a certain way. So while you may feel that अभी का अभी मेरा problem solve होना चाहिए, उनकी तरफ से वो ये सोच रहे हैं कि यार miss नहीं होना चाहिए. I will make sure we'll come back to it. Now, does the miss happen? Yes, it does happen. But yeah, that's a part of the cycle.
All right. So before I come to the wrap, we do play this rapid fire round
Okay.
too. And now, before I have the rapid fire questions and everything, I would like to give you the mic and the camera in case if in the whole podcast you felt like that something was, really that you wanted to share with them, or you had already in mind before coming away that this is something that I really want to talk about. So it's all yours.
Uh, I didn't really think anything about that, but if you're a business owner, here's what I always want you to think. You are you are doing something that's not easy. You're doing something that you've dreamed of, which means what? You will face challenges, you'll face issues, but that doesn't mean you take a step back. What you need to do is to level up, look for what needs to be improved, and then change it and keep continuing this cycle. And that's the only part to growth. Apart from that, this whole podcast, I am 100% sure is going to be useful to you. So, yeah, thank you so much.
That's so sweet of you. I feel like it was a masterclass on how do business owners start up or what are they facing. So I am also crossing my fingers that it will be really helpful.
Absolutely.
Coming back to the rapid fire round, one book that you would like to recommend to the audience.
Being Extraordinary. Please read that book by Vishay Lakhiani. I say this in every podcast that I go. That has changed how I think. Because, like I told, your thoughts create your beliefs create your feelings, and feelings create your actions.
All right.
So, yeah.
Next question is, when do you feel like that this is the right time to come out of it? Like as a business owner, if you've started something, at what time or what stage do you feel like that you should?
So, see, there's no definite answer to this, but whatever you think is right. I would say some people say, hey, you know what, मेरे को शायद 10 करोड़ का अगर मेरा corpus है तो now I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Some people will say I want 1000 crore corpus. So there's no right and wrong. You define it for yourself, and that clarity has to be celebrated. कि यार मेरे को पता है मैंने इतना करना था, इतना कर लिया, खुश हूँ मैं. So that's what I would say.
Honestly, I've realized one thing sitting next to you is that in business or in anything also in life, you believe that nothing is right or wrong, right?
Yeah.
Everything finds their own way if you put an energy to it.
Absolutely. I say this to everybody. There's nothing right and wrong. Is something serving you or not serving you? You just look at that parameter and you'll be able to remove things or add things in life.
All right. So I would like to end it on 5 quick questions that anybody should ask themselves if they're starting off their business.
The number one question is why they're doing it. No matter what. Second, what kind of audience they resonate with.
Okay.
At times, what kind of audience are they themselves? So both these questions are the same.
Same.
Then third is what kind of problem do I want to solve for an audience?
Okay.
Right? And in what way do I want to solve it? And is it big enough for people to pay me or not? These 5 questions, if you answer, I am sure you will be able to come up with one thing that you can sell to people, like one audience, one problem statement, one solution, and you make money out of it.
Oh, damn. I mean, this is bang on. Like, this is the perfect end to the podcast because I feel like anybody who asks these 5 questions will actually make their way through. And then you have Abhay as, your business coach all the time present and available. So we'll drop down his links in the bio. In case if you have any questions, of course, I am pretty sure that he'll be there. He'll be there to actually at least give you truth bombs. If not continuing in the business, but he'll give you the truth bomb actually that this is where you're going wrong. You
Absolutely.
improve this first and then we'll talk later.
Absolutely. I think that's what it is. It is a game of realizing things and changing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
So he'll give you that clarity if you really would like to continue that further or not. So that's something that even I am sensing that sitting next to him. And thank you so much, Abhay. It was lovely having you on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really grateful to be on this podcast, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Take care of yourself. I hope you really like it.